at the end of the speech, Joe said, "Go get him." That was the big finish of the thing. And it became unclear to people what he meant by that because normally it's, God bless America. Okay, I'm out of here. Go get him.
God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you. Go get him.
What did he mean by that? Even NBC, the propagandists at NBC, even they were a little confused by what that meant.
I also think there was a strange moment at the end where he said, "Go get him." That was audible to the audience, and we're not quite sure what he means. I think he's talking about Vladimir Putin and the bad guys over there, but it was an ad lib that kind of...
Yeah, normally his quote is God bless
and
our
that was,
soldiers.
I think he was trying to buck up America and say, we're strong, the State of the Union is strong, get out there and, remember that we are strong as Americans.
By the way, his COVID message.
Don't worry, guys. He just said some random statement at the end. But no, this is what he meant because they carry water for him, right? They carry water for the administration. I think he meant Vladimir Putin and the bad guys. Sounds like a band in Brooklyn in 1987, doesn't it? Vlad Putin and the bad guys. Putin and the bad guys. They're a real hipster band. It's like, what did he mean by that? He just blurted out something. Did he mean go get him? Like go kill Putin? Let's get the nuclear war going? Like what is he actually talking about? Doesn't matter. Nobody knows. He must mean this because he's obviously not having some sort of mental breakdown. Then this morning, this one's from this morning, although there was plenty of stuff going on last night. Jen Psaki, the White House press secretary, she had an accidental slip up, maybe even two slip ups here. I believe this is from CNN. Take a look.
I was at the State Department. The president was the vice president the last time Russia invaded Ukraine. This is a pattern of horror from President Putin and from the cronies around him.
All right. So first off, this is a pattern of horror from this president. So she fixed that. Okay. We all misspeak sometimes. Fine. But lady, I think you accidentally said the quiet part out loud there. Yeah, there's a pattern here. Putin seems to invade on Biden's watch. He was the VP when Putin did it last time. Now he's the P. He was VP. Now he's P. You see what's going on here? There is a pattern there that Putin does bad things when he thinks that we have incompetent people who don't actually live up to their words and set their red lines and set order in the world. Then he does some bad stuff when we've got those type of people involved. And guys, remind me, I can't remember. I'm thinking about this one. It's driving me crazy. There was a guy who was president for 4 years in between when Biden was VP and when he was P. Do you have any recollection of who that was? Any of you guys? He was, yes, Orange Man. Remember Orange Man? Scary, racist, white supremacist Orange Man. For some reason, that pattern that Psaki is talking about, the pattern was broken during Orange Man. I don't know. I don't have my abacus here to figure it all out, but something seems weird about that. There was more from NBC, though. Stephanie Ruhle actually acknowledged that Biden's inflation crisis is a problem, although there's a little trickery that she does right up top, which we'll get to. Take a look.
President Biden has a complicated economic story to tell. While he has some very big wins, 6.5 million jobs created, unemployment now down to 4%, and household savings hitting a record high as we come out of the pandemic, those are very big wins. Unfortunately, for this administration, they're discounted because the inflation that we're facing right now is a huge problem for the American people. We see it all over the place, and it's not going to get any better anytime soon because of the situation in Ukraine. Now, it's no surprise the GOP's response was hammering inflation over and over. But frankly, they didn't even need to do that. The American people are feeling it every single day. It's what they're talking about at their kitchen tables, and it's what's causing a problem in approval ratings for President Biden.
6.5 million new jobs. Now, of course, she doesn't tell you that it's because they locked everybody down that the jobs went up this year as things sort of opened up, which is exactly what the next number that she gave was, that unemployment is less than it was last year, which is the exact same thing. So even when they're trying to tell you something true that we all know about this unemployment, this inflation problem, like they still sort of lie in the way that they frame it. Okay, is what it is. Chuck Todd, who is another NBC guy, he really wanted Joe to talk more about Ukraine.
Let me put it this way. In some ways, for the sake of the Ukrainians, I hope we don't say it didn't, I hope we say, oh, it was about right. But I fear this is going to feel like a speech that didn't age well because of the lack of, I thought he'd spend more time in Ukraine, spend a little more time explaining why it is our fight. As you said, good versus evil, explain what a little bit more and a little bit of the history of the defense of Europe and a little bit of why we're in this position, why we have these alliances, what it all means. And it just felt like an abrupt end after the 12 minutes of that. And it felt like, boy, we could have had more. There was more to say. I think there was more that the public would have. And then it turned, look, I do think he accomplished two important pieces of politics. Saying the phrases, secure our borders and fund our police. There are a lot of vulnerable Democrats and a lot of House and Senate races that are relieved to hear the leader of the Democratic Party say those two phrases.
Okay, first off, more time on Ukraine. The whole beginning, the whole heart of this thing was about Ukraine and basically threatening Russia. Okay, that's what it was. That's not me defending Russia. You can't just attack another sovereign nation, okay? Russia bad right now. Putin, not the good guy. But more time. Chuck, do you know that this was the American State of the Union? What is the state of our union? What is the situation that we got going right now? And if you ask the average person who's watching inflation go up, who's watching critical race theory in their kids' schools and the mass and all of the stuff, where do you think Ukraine fits into this? That is not to say it is not important to do what we can to help Western democracies. And we can have all sorts of discussions about that, which we don't do particularly well. But in the state of our union, that thing is not on the top 10 list. And he spent most of the time talking about it.